Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons Universe set, and it's going to be Tailspike. So that's one of the four middle-sized dragons released in 2010, so along with Black Earth, Claw Reaper and Torchwing that I have already reviewed in fact, so if you want to see that's 3 dragons reviews, well just check out my channel. But yeah, right now we are going to talk about Tailspike. So of course here's the packaging, which is the same as the 3 other ones. It features the logo, drawing of Tailspike on the side, of course the egg which pop out, and on the which pops out, excuse me, and on the other side you will find some gimmicks and the logo, because yes, in Dragon's Universe it's a sci-fi theme in which there is 2 sides fighting each other, the humans on one side called the Alliance, and on the other side you got the dragons called the Predators. I think that's quite simple to understand. That said, let's move on to the back of the box, which shows you a complete picture of Tailspike in 3D, as you can see, plus the 2 gimmicks, and it's shown with some arrows where the gimmicks are in the set, but we're going to see that in the review, of course. And finally, a little group scene with all the 4 middle-sized dragons and one of the Alliance vehicles that I have already reviewed also. That said, let's move on to the instruction booklet, which is more like a paper that you unfold, in fact. To reveal first the instruction in a way like 3 steps plus the parts list, of course. And finally, the other side features a fight scene, a group and a battle scene, as you can see. And on the other side, you got all the guys from both sides, so all the Alliance guys and all the Predators dragons. And it happens to be the second poster, so with the final version of the spaceship shown and not the prototype version, plus also the super unit which is shown, and which is not the case with the first version of this poster. But well, it's just some details, so I'm not gonna really talk about it for too long. And now let's talk about the set, but first maybe the egg, because it's a part of the set. So once again, I'm going to destroy the box, kind of course. Of course, when you buy this type of box, there is tape all over the place, so you can't really destroy it like that in the shop, for example. So that said, let's move on to the egg, which is made of 2 parts, one which is transparent, the other which is not, but both parts share some injection of colors, like as you can see some darker blue used right there, and the same goes for this part. So of course it can be opened, and well, there is nothing inside, well, maybe a spare missile, but we're going to see that later on. And of course there is, there is no studs or stuff to or attached to link it to some studs of construction toys. So normally it's just 2 molds of plastic, and you can't really put all the parts of a dragon in there, well, it's quite hard. And of course you can't put the dragon built in there, because of course with the wings and all, it's way too large to fit in this egg. But still, of course, a nice mold, nice colors, so well, nice and well done egg. But you're not here for the egg, of course, you're here for the dragon. So let's move on to Tailspike. So as you may know, there exist 4 dragons, but in fact there is just 2 main different molds. And Tailspike shares his mold with the Torchwings one. And of course, each dragon's got 3 unique elements: the head, which is a unique mold per dragon, the color scheme, which is unique, and finally the missile also, which is unique. And here, as you can see, the color scheme, it's mostly light blue with some injection of darker blue, plus some lighter blue for the spine and stuff like that. And of course, you will find some other colors like white for teeth and stuff like that. Also, you have to notice that where I put the box, on the back of the box, the 3D view shows a little darker dragon. That's what you're gonna have in the set, but it's not. It's still close to the final product. unlike, for example, Claw Whipper, which was really two different colors. One on the box it was tan, and the set form was brown. So well, yeah, it's not the case. So that said, let's move on to the set itself with the frame, the body frame, which is the same for all 4 dragons. Of course, it features a connector right there and some attach for the wings, for the front legs, rear legs, tail, and missile launcher and stuff like that. Of course, we also have the ball, which cannot be put off or stuff like that. It's really glued in the dragon in trans thread, which looks pretty nice. And well, that's all. So let's move on to the first, the front legs, which are the same as seen in Torchwing, of course, like I said previously. So you can see that with just one point of connection, there is nothing more, it's just one point of rotation. Then we're gonna link the left one, which as you can see features a strange claw right here, because it's not shaped like the other claws, but we're gonna see what its purpose later on. Then you're gonna have the rear legs, which are the same for each dragon, in fact. Well, the same for all dragons, yes. It will be linked like that. The tail, finally, which is, like I said, the same as Torchwing, but of course in the Tailspike color scheme. As you can see, the inside is empty, but that's supposed to be for a little gimmick, which does not work, but we're gonna see that later on. Then we got the wings, which once again are some parts shared with the Tailspike, the Torchwing dragon. Well, here mine is kind of folded, it's quite strange, but it's just mine. And of course you got 2 of them. As you can see, this one is not folded, it's perfectly fine. And finally, one of the most important part of each dragon is the head, because it's unique to each dragon. So here is the unique mold of Tailspike, and I have to say that it's pretty beautiful, at least in my opinion. I really like this type of little spikes right there on the bottom. It really looks nice. Of course, this one does not really have a crest in comparison to Torchwing or Claw Whipper, but still it looks pretty nice. And also is the only one to have the tongue, as you can see, painted in red, because most of the dragons, well, I mean Torchwing, of course, is mostly red, so you cannot really see if it was painted or not. But for example, Black Earth, which is mostly black, well, his tongue is black, it's not red, so that's really a nice detail. And the fact that it's the only one of the middle-sized dragon to have a tongue painted, whereas all the other little dragons got their tongue painted. So it's really a shame. But at least it really makes its head beautiful. And so here's the dragon without the weapon, but finished, as you can see. So I'm just going to do a little turn around of it, and then I will just show you how to put the weapon assembled. So first we're going to begin with this little part, which can be moved like that. Of course, 2 points of attach. We're going to link this part then, which features like 5 pinholes. Also, you have to notice that on Torchwing and Tailspike, this part right there is silver, whereas on Claw Whipper and Black Earth it's dark gray. It's just a little detail, but that's another detail to differentiate the dragon. Then we're going to link these chain guns, which are once again some parts only shared both by Tailspike and Torchwing. As you can see, they are linked with some pins. Well, Megabloks pins, not quite the same as Lego. They are a little larger, I think, like that. And finally, we're going to link a hose pipe, kind of a transferred hose pipe in there. Of course, the same happen on the other side, and we have all left. We're going to link this weapon in there. And notice 2 holes here, so that's where the transferred hose pipe goes. Excuse me. Yeah, like that. And finally, the missile, which is unique to each set because of the top part of the missile. So you can see Tailspike is the only one to have this type of missile. But there's really just a little detail. And tada, it's done. So now I just have to link it to the last attach remaining, like that. And well, let's do a little turnaround, and then I will talk about the articulations and gimmicks. And finally, I will of course do a little sum up, and that will be all for Tailspike and this Dragons Universe mid-sized dragons from 2010, because of course Megabloks plan to release 4 other mid-sized dragons in 2011, in the first wave at least. And well, that said, let's move on to the articulation. So first, the limbs, the legs and stuff like that. Of course, just 1 point of articulation. This means it can be moved in the front or in the rear, and that's all. Just this point of articulation. But on the left hand, as I've said, you've got a strange molded claw. Well, that's really simple. You have to take an Alliance soldier, which is not included into this set. This set just comes with the dragons, and not just the dragon, excuse me, and nothing more. And well, a little hole, and it's shaped perfectly. So yeah, this claw is supposed to, of course, hold the guy in there, and you can put him like that. So of course, it's there is some little space between the two, but if you want to crush some Alliance guys, that's the way to do it. Now, of course, you got the rear legs, which work the same, 1 point of articulation. Then you got the tail, which can be moved like that, and also it's supposed to be it can attack with his tail like that by throwing it. But as you can see, it doesn't really. It's slow as hell, so it's not like it's a fast and strong attack. So maybe I'm doing it wrong, which may be the case, but it doesn't really seem to work. In fact, you can't really touch anything with the tail attack. So yeah, I don't really know. It doesn't really seem to work. But maybe once again, that's maybe just me. And yes, now the wings. So 2 points of articulations on the wings, rotation, excuse me, so 1 right there and 1 to move it up or down. And the same goes for the weapons pack, which can be moved on the sides and also up or down like that. But of course, the wings and the guns, the weapon pack are touching each other, so you can't really move them the way you want, but at least it works. And finally, the head. Yes, also for the weapon pack, you can fire the missile with just pressing this button, and it works perfectly. And then the head, which this time is mounted on both joints. This means it can move on the sides, up or down, the way it wants. So it's not as, of course, as limited as this limbs. And finally, of course, it can also open the mouth. But in comparison to the other dragons, it cannot really open his mouth that much, but still it can, and well, it can just roar a little. And that said, I'm going to do, of course, a sum up of this set. I'm gonna put the egg on the background. So yes, well, in fact, it's quite like the other dragons. So this means the complaints are, of course, the articulations, which are quite poor for dragons this price. Also, some people might complain about the weapons pack on the back, but like you've seen, yes, we can put it off really easily, and it doesn't really look ugly, so you can put this off really easily. Also, some people might complain about the color scheme, which is really bright and stuff like that, but that's really some subjective point of view, so I'm not gonna really talk about that. And then, apart from that, of course, it's kind of like the other dragons, but I have to admit that, personally, that's one of my fans, because I'm really a big fan of his head mold, which I really find it's cool, plus also the color scheme, which is really nice. So, of course, it does not really match exactly the back of the box, which can be disappointing for some people. I can easily understand that, but I really like this type of blue, of light blue and blue colors together. Plus, I really got some nice injected colors in my wings. So seriously, I really like this color scheme plus the head, and I think that's one of my 5 dragon with torch wing, which is also really exceptional in terms of color scheme and in terms of head mold. And that said, I'm just going to do a little group shot with all the dragons. Because yes, I do not have all the Dragons Universe 2010 sets. I'm missing the Ultimate Dragon, kind of the king of the dragons, which is a true exclusive Toys R Us exclusive set. So that's why I don't own it. Maybe sometime in the near future, but for now I do not own it. So I'm not going to show you all the sets or make a sum up of the 2010 year. I'm just going to show you all the dragons together, all the 4 mid-sized dragons. And well, so now you can, you know, the one you prefer. I think with these 4 reviews, you can decide the one you want to buy. Because as you have seen, of course, even if they were used most of the parts between together, they are still different. So for example, Claw Whipper, which got a nice head plus some brown red color shell. Tailspike, of course, which I just reviewed. Torchwing, which really got a nice head mold plus some nice glossy plastic colors with a kind of transparent orange and stuff like that, really looking nice. And finally, Black Earth, which does not really got any injected color, but a little fade of red on his wings, which are looking also pretty nice. And of course, this, like I said, there's 2 chairs, the parts, and the 2 other one shares also their type of pieces. And well, that said, hope you enjoy this review on Tailspike. Also, hope you enjoy all these 4 reviews on this mid-sized dragon of 2010. And well, of course, if you have still any comments or questions to ask, well, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them. And that said, once again, once you have enjoyed the review, hope you enjoy, the set, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye, guys.